Poppy seed, ham, and cheese sliders. That is what is on the menu today in the CoreniaBug kitchen. Welcome back, CoreniaBug fans, and welcome to the CoreniaBug kitchen. If you haven't seen my other cooking video I did, make sure you check it out. It is of the macarena and cheese, which is only the bestest mac and cheese in the whole world. So make sure you check out that video. I'll put a link in the description. Yeah, but today we're making something different. We're making poppy seed ham and cheese sliders with a slight change. But the recipe I'm following today is by Yummi Haus. And I'll tell you a little bit about them first. So Yummi Haus, deliciously easy recipes since 2008. And let's scroll down to the bottom and we'll find out about the chef behind it all. Where's she at? Scroll, 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 scroll. There she is. Welcome. I am Gina. Well, hey, Gina. The creative mind behind Yummi Haus. I split my time between the wide open beauty of Montana and the vibrant big island of Hawaii, where I fuel my passion as a food photographer. I'm absolutely obsessed with amazing and beautiful food. Well, Gina, sounds like I need to come and visit you, for sure. But let's go ahead and get started into this recipe. Now, I know, we can all make a ham and cheese sandwich, I think. It's ham and cheese sandwich, you know? But specifically for this, I'm going to follow this special recipe because tomorrow's a special occasion. It's actually my husband's birthday. It's his birthday tomorrow. And he doesn't really like desserts. How sad, right? But that's kind of good for me because usually it means more dessert for me. But anyway, so instead of making cupcakes, I thought we could have the ham and cheese sliders. And that will be what we have instead of the cupcakes. And I know that he is going to love it. Yeah. But the first thing that we need to do is go back to the recipe instructions. You guys always know these recipes have like a ton of like extra stuff that they show. All right. Step number 1. Lightly coat a 9 by 13 inch dish with cooking spray. Okay, let's do that. Get my pan out here. Get the little pan. And we'll just spritz our pan here. Just a little spritzer-y. There we go. Other pan. Little spritz. All right. Just a little. Okay, that's good. All right. We'll just kind of clean as we go. Put our pan back away. All right. Check. Step number 2. Cut the slider buns in half like a sandwich. Altogether, do not break into individual sliders yet. This might be tricky. Let's see. All right. So I've got my King's Hawaiian rolls here. The sweet Hawaiian rolls. They are very delicious. So let's go ahead and break these puppies out. Just like a sesame seed, I'm on a roll. All right. We're really going to be rolling in style. Okay, let me get my bread knife. Let's see. Bread knife, there we go. We want the serrated one. Wait. I'm just kidding. Too much Michael Myers movies. Okay. Let's see. I think I'll turn them this way. And I'm going to try to cut them all together in half. And I don't want to mess it up. Okay. Oh, it's getting stuck on the paper. Alright, just easy does it. Yeah. Try to get them kind of even there. Okay. It's going good. I think the bottoms might be a little more thicker than the tops. Yeah. Okay. Alright, we may have a few squished rolls, but that's okay. They're gonna be great. Okay. So now, before we cut the other one, place the bottom layer into the prepared dish. Let's do that. Okay, go ahead and we'll take these away. And we'll put these bottom ones. Oh, they're kind of stuck to the paper. Okay, hang on. Let's get them off here. Come on. Alright, so now we're gonna stick these into the pan. All together. Beautiful. Okay, we'll leave our other ones right here. Now let's cut. We're gonna make 2 pans of these because we are gonna be sharing with friends. So let's go ahead and cut our second bread rolls. And bust. Move that out of the way over there. And open up our bread. Okay. Let's open up this package here. Just open it up like a present. Yeah. Okay. Now, I probably shouldn't be trusted with sharp stuff. Okay. I'm going to try to get it a little more even this time. Last time I kind of made the bottoms pretty thick and the tops thin. Let's concentrate. Oh boy. Okay, there we go. We're just moving right along through there. Okay, there we go. Wonderful. Oh boy. It seems the same thing kind of happened. The bottoms are like very thick and the top kind of is a little bit thinner. But they are still going to be great. I know they will be. So let's go ahead and let's put these to the side, these top ones. And put these bottom ones over into our other pan. Oh, there's step 2. Okay, come in. Okay, slide these into their pan. There we go. Okay. Okay. And that was step 3. Step 3, check. Now, step 4, add half of the cheese on top. But I'll tell you, I'm going to actually add something the recipe doesn't call for. Oh, we lost a towel. Let's set that here. Okay, but I'm going to put something that the recipe doesn't call for, and that is some mayonnaise. We're going to put just a little bit of mayonnaise on the bread. Not too much, just a little bit. Because we like mayonnaise. Isn't that what you need, extra fat? Okay. We'll just put a couple dibbles on here. And then we'll spread it out. Because I don't want to put too much, but just like a thin layer over the whole thing. So we'll just spread it out. I normally, personally, I really like a lot of mayonnaise on my sandwich. However, when I'm eating out somewhere, I feel like I have to be really careful about asking for extra mayonnaise. Because some places will take that to heart. And you'll get a whole big gloopy pile of mayonnaise and it's too much. It's way too much. So sometimes I'll ask extra mayonnaise. Or sometimes maybe I'll say, can I get extra mayonnaise on the side? Just kind of depends on the place, you know. But that's only usually for cheat days anyways. Because during the week, when I'm eating healthy and counting my calories, I am not having mayonnaise. That is definitely a no-no for me for like a low-calorie diet. But for a special treat and a special sandwich, definitely. Alright, that looks pretty good. Okay, let's put mayonnaise on our second one. We'll just a couple globs there. Maybe a little more just generous there. Mayonnaise, a lot of rolls here. Yeah, I'll correct myself up. Oh, cracking myself up makes me actually think about the egg video that I filmed. That was pretty fun whenever I cooked eggs. They turned out really yummy. Just spreading the mayonnaise. We're spreading the mayonnaise. Woo! Okay, I think that's good. We kind of have, like I said, just a thin layer over the whole thing. Should I put some on the top ones? Nah, we're not gonna put any there. Because then we're gonna have the butter glaze on the very top. So, we'll just put the one layer mayonnaise. That'll be just fine. But, let's go ahead and just put our mayonnaise away. There we go. Okay. Now, we're back on track. Next step, add half of the cheese on top. And it does call for 24 slices of Swiss, provolone, or pepper jack. I have opted for the Swiss cheese. Yeah. Do you guys know a lot about the Swiss? I don't, but I mean their flag's a big plus. Okay, so let's add half our cheese. Just spread it over the bottom. Okay, looks like we can kind of double up on that. Wait, do we have enough pieces of cheese? Yeah, we do. I don't think we can make them too cheesy, though. Okay. It's kind of like with the mac and cheese. Like, you can't have it too cheesy. Well, I mean, you can. If you did, it would be all stuck together and you wouldn't be able to eat it, really. Okay. We'll put cheese on this other one. Swiss cheese is always funny because it always has the little holes in it. So it's kind of like a cute cheese, don't you think? How it has the little holes. Okay. We'll double up on this other one here. Yeah. Oh, come in. Oh, why isn't it opening? Yeah. Okay, phew. Alright. Little cheese there. Oh, yeah. I feel like ham and cheeses, too, are just such a good comfort food. Anytime, I mean, I don't think I've ever could turn down, like, a ham and cheese sandwich. Cold, grilled, toasted. I mean, I'll take it any way I can get it. Mm-hmm. On a bun, on a hoagie. I mean, you can make a ham and cheese any way. Okay. Alright, next step. Oh, we gotta get back to the steps. Scroll, scroll, scroll. Alright. Follow with a layer of ham, then the remaining cheese. So let's go to our ham. Okay. We'll just put these on here like so. I thought about like folding them, but I think this will be good. Just layering them flat like this. I think it'll be fine. I don't think there's any need to like fold them up. Okay. And the other one. Ham, meat, YouTube. Ha, YouTube, meat, ham. Let's see. How many more pieces do we need? I feel like, though, for a good sandwich, you have to have the right, like, contents versus bread ratio. If you have too much contents for the bread, or vice versa, it's just not a good sandwich. It has to be the right ratio. I guess that's just how I feel. Like, even with a burger or something, if the burger is, like, way, way, way thick, and then the bun is, like, kind of skinny, then I'm like, nah. Oh, yeah, okay. Alright. How's it looking so far? What do you think? I think it's great. Alright. Okay. I don't know. Should we add more meat, though? Should we add more meat? I think we have enough. I think we're good with just that amount. We don't want to overdo it. But it does say after the ham to add the remaining cheese to the top. So let's add our remaining cheese. I know in some restaurants, the employees will use gloves. I mean, I've seen like even on some, shows and different things, and even like restaurants I've been in where the employees are wearing the gloves. But, I mean, if you just wash your hands, like I promise I did wash my hands thoroughly before I started creating all the sandwiches and stuff. And, so I feel like if you just stay clean and wash your hands, then that's better than the gloves. Because I've seen on some of those shows where they expose people about, like, even though they have the gloves on, if they're touching stuff and then they go back to the food with the same gloves, that's not any better than just washing your hands. So, yeah. I also, disclaimer, have wiped down my phone because I knew I would be touching it during the video, looking at the recipe. So also, in addition to washed hands, we have a sanitized phone. Yeah, we're all about being clean. That's right. So, next step. What do? We just put our ham on. Okay. In a small microwave safe bowl, melt the butter. Well, lucky for you guys, I already did that. So here it is. Here's our melted butter that I already have ready to go. Look at that liquid gold. Oh yeah. You better believe it. Okay. So we melted our butter. Step number 7. Whisk in the brown sugar, Dijon, poppy seeds, onion powder, garlic powder, Worcestershire salt, and pepper. Okay. Now, I have already measured out the dry ingredients, but not the moist ingredients or the wet ingredients. So, in our wet ingredients... Oh, let's get these extra wrappers out of our way. We'll just set those to the side. Okay. We need 2 teaspoons of Worcestershire sauce. We've got our Worcestershire sauce. The Worcestershire sauce. So, we need 2 teaspoons of that. Right? 2 teaspoons. However, I'm using my half teaspoon spoon, so we're going to need 4 of these half teaspoons. I'm going to go ahead and measure that out into the bowl, and try not to, like, spill and be, okay, let's take the cap off. Oh, gosh, oh, no! The, like, protective seal is still on there. Oh, okay, let me go ahead and open that up. There we go. I thought it was strange that it wasn't, like, coming out at all. Oh, boy. Okay. So, let's get that going. And what? Oh, a little dribble extra. Okay. And 2. And 3. And 4. There we go. Let's put that in the sink over there. Okay. And our 1 tablespoon of Dijon mustard. So we've got our tablespoon here, which we also used to measure out our brown sugar. But we need 1 tablespoon, and we did... Yeah, we already took that one off. But didn't hurt to check. Get our mustard. You know, I used to hate mustard. Like, really hate mustard. But now, I kind of like some mustards. Still not like plain yellow mustard, but Dijon mustard or honey mustard. There are some mustards that I enjoy now. But still not yellow mustard. I saw this, I think maybe it was Carpetbagger on YouTube, that he went to a store that actually had all different kinds of mustard. Like, every mustard you could think of, they had all different kinds. That is pretty wild. I never knew, actually, that there were so many different kinds of mustard. But we're using the Dijon mustard. It's kind of fancy, like Dijon. Yeah. Okay. So we got our mustard in there, and we'll get our dry ingredients and whisk them together. Let's pull out our fancy whisk. You guys might have seen this come out in the macaroni and cheese video. That is our pretty cool whisk. We just turn it like that, And voila, we are in business. Let's get our dry ingredients here that I have measured out. We have them all in their little areas there. They're all separated in their own little spices land, individually. We got the, this one's the onion powder, the garlic powder, black pepper, salt, and the brown sugar. So even though it's not a dessert, we do still have some elements of sweetness because we used honey ham and we're using the brown sugar in the glaze. So it still does have a little bit of sweetness. Okay, we'll go ahead and pour in these dry ingredients. Oh boy, the sugar's sticking to the side of the plate. Okay, that's fine. Everything's fine. It went all into the bowl. That's great. Okay. Let's whisk this together. And I will tell you guys that the one major change for this recipe is actually for the poppy seed ham and cheese sliders, there will be no poppy seeds. I know, they're called poppy seed ham and cheese sliders, but I had some poppy seeds in the cabinet, and so I was like, oh, I don't need to buy those at the store. I have those already. Well, when I got home, I realized that they were pretty far past the Best Buy date, so I felt like that just wasn't a good idea to put those on. So we're just gonna go without them. And I did read some of the other reviews on the recipe site, and people said that they thought it was just fine without them. So we're just gonna have them without the poppy seeds. Oopsie. I guess maybe that's a sign to really go through my spice cabinet and make sure I don't have any other expired spices in there. I mean, I know the spices don't necessarily, some of them expire, but definitely the Best Buy day, you want to use them before then, Let's see. I think we're going to put this on there, but let's just look. Yeah, brush this mixture over the tops of the rolls. Yeah. I think we're looking pretty mixed up. I mean, I'm always a little mixed up, so. Alright. We'll just put our whisk away and grab out our brush. Voila. There we go. But I guess we should put these tops onto the sandwiches first. Let's try to put those on oh. Wait, which one goes with which one? I'm pretty sure this one goes with this one. Yeah, just like that. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter, but I just want the bread amounts to, equal out, Not have them too wonky. Okay. And then this one. Yeah. I think that looks right. The bread on this side actually might be a little thicker. Yeah, it's fine. It's totally fine. Everything is fine. There we go. Okay. Now, let's put on our glaze. Man, that glaze is thickening up. It got a lot thicker than I thought. Wow.
Wow.
All right. And we'll just paint that on. We'll just paint it on like Bob Ross. Happy little trees. I did actually think one time that I was going to replicate a Bob Ross painting. Follow along with one of his shows. However, whenever I started making my supplies list, I realized that it was going to be kind of expensive to get all the oil paints that I would need for the painting. So I decided not to do that. But if that's something you guys would be interested in seeing me do, let me know and we can revisit that idea. Yeah, because I think it would be cool. I've done paint and sip before with my friends. And I really enjoyed that. So I feel like trying to follow along with the Bob Ross video would be nice. But we'll just paint here. Some's kind of going there in the cracks. You gotta get it in the cracks sometimes. Looking good, looking good. Oh yeah. It's funny because it said like pour over the extra, but like that's not pouring anywhere. That is definitely not gonna pour. So I guess we will just continue to paint it all on until we don't have any left. We'll just brushing. We'll keep on brushing our glaze. Man, I wish we could like jam out to some music while we were cooking. That's what I usually like to do, but stinking copyright, we can't do that. But that's okay. We can make our own music. I don't know if any of you guys are like Tay-Tay fans, but personally, I really like some of the Tay-Tay songs. And right now, I am hooked on Ophelia. Ophelia. And the music video is so cool. I really love the vibe of that and everything. So it's been pretty much stuck in my head for like days. I guess this is gonna like get kind of melty and then like run down the sides and stuff. So sometimes my husband and I will have like bake-off competitions because we're a big fan of the cooking shows and like the baking competitions. I just feel like they're so fun to watch. But I like the ones where you actually learn stuff because I want to see all the stuff that like they're doing, why they're doing it, what went wrong, and what they need to fix for next time. Because I feel like that's how I learn sometimes what not to do. Oh, we got some on the pan. But I've made some really cool stuff in the past. Maybe I'll try to put some pictures of that in there. But like this past Halloween, we did a spooky bake-off competition and we made candles that are cake. I mean, they are cake, but they look like candles and they lit up and everything and it was really cool. It was lit. But that was so fun. Oh, but then one time he made this cake and it was a sponge cake, but it was a sponge. And it was a cake. Because, like, it was cake. But it looked exactly like a sponge. And that one won hands down. It was so cool. And, of course, we staged it for photos with, like, a bottle of Dawn dish soap beside of it. It had little bubbles on it, but that wasn't, soap, obviously. But it was like a meringue that was on top, but it kind of looked like soap. It was so cool. I probably need to have one of those coming up soon for like Christmas maybe. It's like a Christmas bake-off. See what other fun creations I can come up with. Because while I'm not an expert by any means in the kitchen, it's just really fun to try new stuff, right? You never know what you can do unless you try. You just gotta try. Okay. I think we almost have all of our sauce onto the buns. Yeah, look at those big, beautiful buns. Oh yeah, those big buns slathered in glaze. Oh boy, okay. Well, we're done with that part. Let's see what we do next. All right, cover with aluminum foil. Ew. Okay, here's where we have another problem because I actually don't have any aluminum foil either and thought I did, so I didn't pick up any from the store. But we are going to try to put my baking sheets over the pans and maybe that will like be kind of a foil substitute. I hope that they'll bake in the same way with the baking sheet on top. And it says bake at 350 for 20 minutes. Then we are going to remove the foil, aka baking sheet, and cook for an additional 10 minutes. Okay. So let's get our baking sheets. We'll cover these suckers up and we'll get them put into the oven. These baking sheets have served up a lot of cookies and a lot of stuff. So I do realize that they look a little rough, but they are still great to use and they are going to do the trick for today. Oh boy. Oh man. No. It doesn't sit high enough. Oh boy. Well, we may just have to bake without the foil and hope that they don't get dried out. Yeah, hopefully they won't be dried out because I don't want them to get all smushed in there. That's not good. Aw, okay. Well, that's okay. Let's stick them in the oven just as they are and hope for the best. Here we go, number 1. Number 2. All right, we'll set our timer. Okay. And then I'll see you guys in a couple minutes and we'll pull them out and take a look. The timer just went off and we have our handy dandy oven mitts. But anyways, okay, let's get them out of the oven. Whoa. Oh, yeah. Those are looking good. Whoa. That's what I'm talking about. Heck yeah. Whoa. All right. Well, since I don't have the foil to cover them up, I'm super scared of them getting dry. So I'm just going to leave them at this. I don't think they need to bake anymore. I think they seem done. All the cheese looks melty and they look delicious. Oh yeah. Oh, and I'll show you something cool that I'm going to do actually because, like I told you, these are going to be, instead of cupcakes, we're having these for my husband's birthday tomorrow. He's going to love these for his birthday. But we have candles. So I have all these super cute candles that are going to go into the cupcakes, the ham and cheese sliders, and that way he can make a wish and blow out his candles whenever we sing to him and present him with the sandwiches, aka cake cupcakes. Is this something that you would like to receive on your birthday, or would you be upset if you didn't get like a traditional dessert? Let me know in the comments. I'll try my best to snag a video of us like enjoying the snacks tomorrow, but stay tuned because we still have a lot more Vlogmania mania that's coming this month.